Of course, there is this. We don't want to leave you alone for too long. By the way, in 2008, I think it's going to be tough. We're still getting used to how do we get together? How do we get together and get these candidates elected? But I think by 2010, we're going to be sending a lot of friendly faces your way to Congress, and we look forward to that.
Yeah, and that would be great. That would be a big help if we had 2, 3, or 5 even. I mean, it would be like an army up there.
Right. I mean, are you dead set against third party ever again? And do you have an opinion on Baldwin Barr?
Well, I'm not dead set personally on the idea of a third party. It's just so sad that it's so difficult, and all the rules and the laws are biased against it. For me, I'm not contemplating it. I mean, I'm still in the Congress, so I'm not contemplating doing it. But I've introduced a lot of legislation that would make it easier for third parties to get on ballots and to be able to participate. So I just hope that some of these laws could be changed. I think it would be great to have a law that says that, at least for the federal election, we could pass this nationally, is that you could have your name on 2 tickets. You could run as a Libertarian and a Republican, or a Democrat and a Green Party, and that would help get recognition, to those third parties. In some states, you're allowed to do that. New York, matter of fact, you are. That would be a big improvement, and reducing the difficulty on getting on ballots would be a big help. As far as the national campaign goes, I haven't endorsed anybody, but I do encourage all the alternatives because obviously I can't support either one of the two candidates of the Republican and Democrat Party. So I hope Bob Barr gets a lot of votes, and I hope Chuck Baldwin gets a lot of votes, and I'm not going to worry too much if people like Ralph Nader and the Green Party people get a lot of votes too. I think that might send a message.
Right, absolutely. So you're convinced that we can transform the Republican Party then. Now, in spite of all the problems that we've had, just blatant breaking of the rules and pretty much everything being stacked against us, we did have some effect. So you're confident that we can continue to work that. In that regard, did you, in the Texas convention, were you invited to speak there, and did you decline, or were you not invited at all? That you
No, I wasn't invited, and we got pushed around. I think Montana probably treated us the best of any of the states. I'm not overconfident that the Republican Party can be reformed. I think the Republican Party gets reformed when the country gets reformed, and then the Democrats and the Republicans get reformed. If the American people change their attitude about the welfare warfare state, then it will be reflected in the parties. But I don't even though I don't say, oh yeah, a couple of years of this and we're going to control the Republican Party and we're going to reform it. I don't look at it that way. But I don't discourage anybody for working within the Republican Party. I work within the Republican Party, and if they want to work in it and understand it and get these rules, there's a lot of inept people there in the party, and if they worked hard, at the local level, they can become precinct chairman and county chairman and work within the system. That to me is all fine.
Absolutely. One final question for you. Do you anticipate running again in 2012? And would you at all consider a third party if, in fact, that third party had made significant progress in the ability to get on the ballot? And, for instance, if they were...
Those thoughts have not crossed my mind. It's still a long way off, so that's not in the plan. And but I never make these absolute statements. I will never, do such and such. But no, that's not what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking mostly right now of promoting our new organization, Campaign for Liberty, campaignforliberty.com, and not only do we want to participate and help on July 12th, we're looking forward to maybe having a pretty strong presence in Minneapolis on September 2nd.
Yeah, I think the only problem you're going to have in Minneapolis is that you're going to have way more than 11,000.
Well, that would be a good problem, I guess. And there are others who want me to get a bigger place, and I'm always the one that, well, we better be careful. I don't want to let anybody down. So we'll see. If we have that problem, I guess we'll deal with it.
We love that attitude about you, Dr. Paul. We love everything about you, Dr. Paul. You are our hero, and we thank you so much for coming on Revolution Broadcasting, and we look forward to seeing you in D.C. on July 12th at the Revolution March.
Okay, Ray. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Alrighty, there you go. Thank you, Ray, and thank you, Dr. Paul. Both of them had a lot to do tonight, so they cannot stick around for long. That was a great interview, and we thank Dr. Paul so much for giving us the time that he did for this interview. Please stick around with us here if you are listening. We have some other great announcements about the march and the website that we want you to hear. So please don't go anywhere. I know a lot of you tuned in for the interview with Dr. Paul, and we are grateful you did that. We want you to stick around here on Revolution Broadcasting. It is the home of the Revolution March radio show. If you are interested in interacting with our listeners, you can go to revolutionbroadcasting.com and click on the chat room there, and you can chat with all the listeners that are part of this. And it has been a lot of people over there in the chat room, so we thank everybody for being a part of this and tuning it in. Once again, please stick around. We only got about 45 minutes left of the show, so not a lot of time, and we want you to hear some of these other announcements we have. Before we get on to those announcements, I want to send out our thoughts and prayers and best wishes to the family of Kent Snyder, to all the family and friends of Kent Snyder. Kent Snyder was Ron Paul's campaign manager during this year's run for presidency, and he died last week of pneumonia. And all our thoughts and prayers are with Kent Snyder and his family. We had the opportunity on our other radio show, Ray and I had the opportunity to interview Kent Snyder, and we were so honored to have him on the show, and once again, our thoughts and prayers go out to him. Okay, moving on here in just a few minutes. Actually, now we will get Susan Wolf on the phone. Susan Wolf is part of our travel committee, and she's got some things to talk about as far as the travel goes. But the biggest announcement I have before everybody starts checking out here is that the website now has a pledge counter up there. And if you go to the website and pledge, you have the opportunity with a small donation of $25 or more to pick up a commemorative ticket that we have put together. And this ticket is just something you want to get your hands on. So we are asking everybody who pledged a while back when we had the pledge counter up to go ahead and re-pledge. There's some reasons for that and some explanations. But go to the website, pledge, pick up your commemorative ticket. We would really appreciate that. It will help us get a feel of how many more people will be part of this event. And if you like what we're doing here at Revolution Broadcasting, it is listener supported. So if you'd like to donate as well to Revolution Broadcasting, we would appreciate that. Before we move on with one more quick announcement here, Thomas E. Woods Jr. is going to be a speaker at the Revolution March here July 12th. He wrote the book, Who Killed the Constitution? And we are actually putting on a money bomb. This book gets released July 8th. It's called Who Killed the Constitution? The Fate of America Liberty from World War I to George W. Bush. And I'm sorry, it's a book bomb, not a money bomb. But anyways, you can go to whokilledtheconstitution.com and pick up your copy of Who Killed the Constitution. I think you will enjoy it. His books have been endorsed by Dr. Paul. He will be a speaker at our event, and he is a host here on Revolution Broadcasting. So we encourage everybody to do that. Once again, I do encourage you to go to revolutionmarch.com and pledge. We do have the pledge counter up there, and you can get that commemorative ticket, and it is a wonderful ticket, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. A measly donation, a little meager donation of $25 or more gets you this commemorative ticket. It's something you will want to remember this event by. So get there and check it out. The pledge button should be working. Somebody in the chat room asked if it was working. Yes, it is working. Yesterday when we launched it, we had a few errors, but Ray, our IT director, got that taken care of. And so it's working now and ready to go. Let me see. Do we have Susan on the line yet? Susan, are you with us at this point? Okay, we'll get her on the line there. Yes, we do need you to pledge again at the website. Okay, there we go. It's ringing now. We're getting Susan on the line, and we're going to talk about travel here.
This is Susan.
Hello, Susan. This is Brian with Revolution March here on Revolution Broadcasting. How you doing?
Hi, Brian. I'm fine. Sorry about earlier.
Not a problem.
I'm an
Thank
idiot.
you for coming. Oh, don't worry about it. Thank you for coming on to our show. I wanted to get you on while we had everybody tuned in here for the Dr. Paul interview because you are part of the travel committee, and of course, that's the committee that helps everybody get